What's up, y'all? We are here for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We have back-to-back episodes because I didn't give y'all a review last week. So we are here for episode 5 and 6, I think. I think it's 5 and 6, child. I think it is. So we start episode 5 off. We have Sutton and Jennifer Tilly over at Sutton's house. And so here's what I need all of us to understand. A lot of things were being said in these 2 episodes without being said, right? And so 4 and 5. Damn, I think I said 5 and 6. Okay, 4 and 5. I do have it right in the thing, 4 and 5. But let me say something to you guys. A lot wasn't being said, and I think that's why some of the conversations were going the way that the conversations were going. And this is a couple of instances, right? So in this first instance is this conversation between Sutton and Jennifer, right? Sutton talks about how she's not drinking. She slowed down on her drinking. I'm going to say something, and I think I said this in one of my reviews last season, maybe not. Sutton drinks a lot. If y'all pay attention, Sutton always had a drink in her hand. I don't know, was that last season where they went? I don't know where they went, but they went to like this beach town and they were only there for like an overnight trip or maybe a 2-day situation. And it was when Sutton and Dorit got into a really bad argument. They were literally because remember, they flew down, but then they took the bus back. Because I was like, why in the hell would they fly down and then take the bus back? That was stupid. But if y'all remember, they got on the bus at like early in the morning. I don't remember what time, but it was like first thing in the morning. Baby Sutton had that Grey Goose in her hand first thing in the morning. And I was like, okay. And there was another time when it was like a situation. And if you paid attention, baby, Sutton always had a drink in her hand. And Sutton drank that shit damn near straight. I mean, damn near straight. So I can understand that Sutton maybe made a decision that she needed to slow down a little bit. Kyle did call Sutton out. She absolutely did. You are absolutely correct. And I remember saying something about it. I didn't dwell on it, but I did say something about it. So when Jennifer Tilly is talking to Sutton, when Sutton is talking about wanting, to make really try to build friendships with these ladies and making a fresh break and getting to know these ladies and how she's, when she was saying that, what that was coded for, that coded conversation was, I got to get to know these ladies now that Garcelle is gone. I have to build relationships with these women now that I no longer have Garcelle as my go-to friend. That's what I heard. And I think that's what Jennifer Tilly was hearing. So when Jennifer Tilly was saying to her, well, you don't want to come on too strong, Sutton. You don't want to be like, oh, be my friend. First of all, she was halfway joking, but she was halfway serious because I think she was kind of like letting Sutton know, okay, girl, don't lay it on too thick. Like, everybody knows what's going on. Everybody knows what you're doing, so don't come on too strong. I feel like that's what her friend was trying to tell her. And Sutton got offended because Sutton knew exactly what she was doing. So now Sutton got offended by that, right? Number 2, yes, Tawana, I do think the drinking had a lot to do with building up the nerve to be around these women, because that's something that Sutton said a couple of times through these next couple of episodes as well, was talking about being worried about what people thought about her and being really concerned about what people, about what people thought about her, and being very insecure. And so, yes, I think the drinking may have had something to do with that as well. But again, so she snaps at Jennifer Tilly in this moment, and Jennifer was kind of like, all right, girl, I'm going to let you have that. Which is why I'm going to get irritated with Kyle later on in this episode. Well, in the next episode, but we'll get to that. I think Sutton drinks to hide her insecurities. I think Sutton drinks for that liquid courage. You know what I mean? for that liquid courage. So we have this scene, and we find out that Sutton is going to invite the ladies to Sedona. They're doing their first trip. They're going to Sedona, and so yeah, there's that. So the next scene we have Dorit and we have Kyle. Kyle, abort mission. Abort mission. Kyle, girl, stop. Walk away. Let it go. You are in a no-win situation, and unless you are telling Dorit that she's right and PK is wrong, girl, you are in a no-win situation. And then you're going to bring Mauricio into it? Absolutely not. So they're talking about PK. So Dorit says that the kids are in Florida, and Kyle was like, oh, so PK went? And she was like, no. And she gives Kyle this look like, why would you ask me that? Girl, she asked you that because what you said was that PK was going to go with them kids to Florida because PK was trying to, first you said PK was trying to block you from even sending the kids to Florida. Then you switched it up and said, well, PK said he's going to go to Florida so he could spend time with the kids. So it wasn't crazy for Kyle to ask you, did PK go to Florida? Because you were the ones that said he was going to go to Florida. So then Kyle says, when she starts talking about PK making life miserable, and see, Kyle, this is what gets you in trouble. Kyle says, well, I don't think, and then she caught herself, but it doesn't matter. It was too late. It was too late because you had already second guessed her when y'all were at Jennifer Tilly's party. Now you're like, well, I would, and then you caught yourself. Let me tell you something. Well, you know what they say, if you're telling the truth, you don't have to remember, you don't have to have a good memory. So the fact that she keeps changing her story, it makes me think that she's not telling the full truth. So Dorit was like, well, what did she say? She said, well, do you think you could get Mauricio to talk? No, first she tells Kyle, well, you don't know him. You don't know PK that. You don't know PK. Hold on, Dorit. Time out. Let's rewind this tape. Let's go back about 2 seasons when you first got mad at Kyle because Kyle made the comment that y'all aren't that close. And you were the one that said, what do you mean we weren't that close? We used to double date. We used to do this. We used to do that. I can't believe she's acting like we didn't know each other. I can't believe she's acting like we weren't really friends. Girl, you can't have it both ways. Because when Kyle said y'all weren't that close, all of a sudden y'all was best friends. Now, well, you don't know him like that. But what? Wait, what? Girl, it can't be both. 2 things can't be. No, not in this situation. Either she knows him well enough to have an opinion about whether she thinks that he would be the kind of person that would make your life hell in this situation, or she doesn't. It's Dorit. So then Dorit says, well, do you think, she said, well, I talked to Mauricio, Kyle is saying, and she said, Mauricio says that, basically PK has a different opinion. Kyle, that's where you went wrong. Girl, stay out of this. First of all, you should already know better. You should already know to stay out of this. After what happened last season with her getting mad at you for still talking, having a conversation with PK. Girl, you should already know. Don't tell her. First of all, you and Mauricio, well, I guess y'all can. I mean, y'all still married technically, I guess. But you don't need to be telling her that you and Mauricio are having conversations about her and PK. It's going to backfire on you, Kyle. It's going to. Not from PK's side, but definitely from Dorit's side. It's going to become a problem. So then Dorit is going to say, well, do you think you could talk to him and get him to talk to PK? Absolutely not. Because why would I put my husband in the middle of this bullshit? Absolutely not. I'm not talking. No, I'm not going to. And what is Mauricio supposed to say to PK? Mauricio and PK are friends. Like, they friends for real friends. Like, they friends. What do you expect Mauricio to say to his friend? Give Dorit everything she wants? let everybody think that Dorit is right and you're wrong? Like, what exactly is Mauricio supposed to say? I'm confused. And then Kyle gonna say, "Well, yeah, sure, sure. I think he would talk to him about what? I mean, really, what is there for them to talk about?" So, Kyle, you are setting yourself up for some bullshit. Don't get in it. Don't be a part of it. And then what Mauricio said is that PK is saying that you're making things hard for him to see the kids. This how I know, or this is how I think, because I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. This is why I think there's some validity in what PK is saying. Because Dorit never said, well, no, he can come and see his kids whenever he wants to see his kids. What Dorit said was, PK doesn't get to just come into town after being gone for 2 or 3 weeks and just think he's going to see his kids. They have a schedule. They have things to do. Then you know what? I believe exactly what Mauricio is saying. And let me tell you why. Number one, by your own words, Dorit, PK has always been an out-of-town, work from across the pond kind of guy. You said that when y'all were together in good times, that PK is gone a lot for work. So him coming in and out of town is not new. The only difference is he ain't coming home to your house. But him being gone for 2 or 3 weeks working and then coming back home, that was y'all's whole marriage. To hear you tell the story again, when y'all were good, when life was okay, it was you was bragging about how, oh yes, because he's with Boy George and he's doing this and he's doing that. So him coming in and out of town is not a new thing. That has been y'all's entire relationship, at least since we've known y'all. That's number one. Number two, just because the kids have a schedule doesn't mean he doesn't get to see them. So now it's okay. You want to see the kids? Well, Jagger has karate practice and Phoenix has tumbling, and they get done at 6 o'clock, and you have to pick Jagger up at 5:30 from XYZ address, and you have to pick Phoenix up from XYZ address. And I normally take them a snack when I pick them up. And Wednesday is pizza night. So you may want to find a nice little pizza place to take them to have some pizza. And are you going to keep them at your apartment, or are you going to drop them off? And if you're going to drop them off, I need you to drop them off by 7:30, because normally 7:30 is when I start getting them ready for bed. And I don't want to mess up their bedtime routine. You don't say, oh, well, they have a schedule and you don't get to just come in when you feel like it. Now that makes me feel like you really are keeping him away from his kids. Same thing with this Miami trip situation. It does not sound to me like he said you could not go. It sounds to me like he said that is supposed to be my time, and you made plans for them during the time that I was supposed to have them. That's what it sounds like. And it sounds like he was trying to compromise and say, well, you know what? I didn't really have any concrete plans for them in LA. So I'll fly down to Florida and we can spend some time together while they're with your parents. That's what it sounds like to me. Now, if I'm wrong, y'all say, really, B? I don't know. I think you putting 20 on 10. I don't think that sound right. But that's what I heard. And maybe y'all heard something different than what I heard, but that's what I heard. Okay. Now, I thought Kyle told Dorit to talk to Mo. No, at first, well, I heard both. Because I heard Dorit say, do you think Mo would have a problem talking to him? And I heard Kyle say, no, I don't think he'll have a problem with it. And I could be wrong. That's what I heard, but I might have heard it wrong. But that's what I thought I heard too. That, she asked, do you think he will talk to, you think Mo will talk to PK? Because I was like, what the hell he gonna talk to PK about? I'm spot on. Thank you, Chuck. Because that's what I heard. Okay. Now, we have this really cute scene with Rachel Zoe and her son. She's picking him up from camp. And she's just talking about being a single mom and the things that, she said, look, I don't have any nannies. You know, I do this on my own, but I'm also still a CEO. So yes, I have to balance, and yes, there are things that go into this, but at the end of the day, you know, this would I wouldn't trade it for the world. She said she thought she was gonna have her a girl, be one and done, and dress her daughter in couture. And she's got two boys. And she said, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I thought it was a cute scene. Her son is hilarious. I think he's cute. He said he moisturized every day while he was at camp. And she was like, "You moisturize? What are you talking about?" And he was like, "You told me to." I was like, "Well, she did tell you could." When she called him on the phone, she did tell him to moisturize. So he was like, "I moisturized every day." Her other son is in the Hamptons. I'm not sure if he's with his dad or if he's just hanging out in the Hamptons with other kids or whatever, because that's what rich people do. They hang out at the Hamptons. So I don't know, but they were in the Hamptons. So that was a cute scene. We're really getting to know Rachel Zoe, and I'm really enjoying Rachel. Even in the next episode where she sort of makes she starts to make a few little snarky comments about couture and fashion and stuff, but she's Rachel fucking Zoe. She can make comments about people's fashions and couture. Okay. I want to hear Zoe's husband's story. Well, I did not watch the reality show, but from my understanding, the reality show, he was an ass. I mean, that's what the people told me. But I don't, I'm sure there's always two sides to a story, or really three sides to a story, Dorit said it was Kyle's idea to talk to Mo. Oh, okay. Well, maybe I missed that, y'all. My bad. I heard Dorit say, "Do you think Mo would talk to him?" But maybe I did. I don't want to. Either way, it's a bad idea. I don't care who suggested it. And if Kyle suggested it, that's even worse. Because Kyle, you should know better. You should have learned from last season to stay the hell out of that situation. But child, whatever. Anyway. Nah, she ran over Roger on their show. She ran over it, like physically ran over him in a car. Oh my. Interesting. Well, there's two sides. Well, like I said, there's three sides to every story. So Kathy has summoned the ladies down to her house. Hey, y'all pay attention. At the end of the day, I don't want any of us to ever be fooled by the baddie old lady act that Kathy Hilton gives us. At the end of the day, Kathy Hilton knows exactly who she is, and she understands the pecking order of things. And it doesn't matter how long Kyle has been on this show. Kathy Hilton is the grand dame of this show. And if y'all notice, every season, the new housewife gets summoned to Kathy's house. Have y'all noticed that? Last year was Bose. Y'all remember Bose went down to Kathy's house for lunch? The season before that, Garcelle. And she wasn't the new girl, but I believe it was Garcelle and somebody else went down to Kathy's house. Y'all noticed that? So this year it's Amanda's turn. Amanda has come down to Kathy's house, and we have Amanda, and we have Sutton, and we have Jennifer. This, contrary to the way that it's interesting watching these episodes back to back. This is when Sutton first started being irritated by Amanda. Because remember, on their way to Kathy's house, she was in the car with Jennifer, and she was like, "I like Amanda. She seems really nice." But after they got done with lunch at Kathy's house, baby, she was sick of Amanda. Excuse me, y'all. Remember when she said that Amanda seems like the type of person that has to one up you no matter what you have? She's got it in double. That is when Sutton started getting Amanda's number. Now listen, Sutton has her own little quirks and her own little things going on. But one thing is for sure and two things is for certain. Sutton has been around this situation, money, for long enough to understand when somebody is trying to infiltrate. And the one thing that I walked away from understanding about Amanda and these 2 episodes is Amanda acts like what she thinks people with money act like. I'm going to say it one more time. Amanda acts like what she thinks people with money act like. And that's how you know she never, that this is new money. When Kathy talked about having her right hand person, Amanda said, "Oh, I've got one of those too." No, you don't. You have an assistant. You don't have what Kathy Hilton has. Kathy Hilton has a house manager. Those are 2 different things. An assistant and a house manager, they ain't the same. They're not the same. Kathy said, "Baby, I lived in the shit. Y'all, this brain fog is really starting to piss me off. I can't wait to order my vitamins tomorrow. Ooh. I don't want to look at the chat because I want to remember on my own because it's right on the tip of my tongue. Waldorf Astoria. Woo! Lord, I couldn't get it out. She lived in the Waldorf Astoria. She said, "Baby, I know what throwing a high-end, multi-layered dinner party entails. And I always want people to walk away from one of my parties feeling like they had an experience. And I'm here for that." Tawanda, no, I'm calling her this weekend too, baby. I had to recover from my Christmas. Even though I said I wasn't gonna spend a whole lot of money at Christmas, baby, I still spent more than I wanted to spend. So no, I'm gonna call her this weekend and make an appointment. But I definitely want to see her soon. Cause baby, this stuff is child. This my sleeping and my memory. Oh, it's a much. It's a lot. It's a lot. Amanda reminds me of that woman who bragged about her $10,000 pair of glasses. Oh, on the Real OC, yes. Have you had your thyroid check? Yeah, I've had my thyroid check. Yeah. Thank you, Kenya. I have. So, so Amanda is bragging. Every time somebody says something, Amanda has to say, "Yeah, me too. Yeah, I have that too. Yeah, me too." They started talking about Kyle. She was like, Kathy starts because they were giving her a compliment on her outdoor dining room. First of all, see this rich people stuff. It's not a gazebo. It's the outdoor dining area. No, the summer. That's what it was. It was the summer dining area. And then Amanda was like, "Oh, we eat outside all the time. Like 90% of the time we eat outside." And then she was like, "At both of the houses." Girl, you are not going to outflex Kathy fucking Hilton. Sorry, not sorry. Are there people that can outflex Kathy Hilton? Yes. You are not one of them. You are not one of them. You bought Kyle's old house. You're renovating Kyle's old house. And that's no disrespect because Kyle's old house is beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's great. Don't get me wrong. It's a beautiful home. But girl, you bought her old house. She bought a brand new house with a whole separate house on it. Like with enough property to have 2 damn houses. Okay? Ma'am, talking about, yeah, I mean, we're renovating as well. Girl, and then Kathy, she gets to talking so much, baby. Kathy just told her ass out. which, to be fair, is not hard for Kathy Hilton to do. So then she starts talking about how she one-upped Erica Jane. Now listen, y'all know that Erica Jane has not been my favorite person these last couple of seasons. Got it, right? But what we are never going to do is act like you one-upped Erica Jane in any way, shape, or form just because you did this to her about something she said about your kids being emotional cancers. Girl, baby, did you see the way Kathy Hilton looked at her when she said, yeah, I got Erica in that moment? Baby, Sutton said, girl, don't you think you got Erica? Don't think that. Don't think for 1 minute that you got the best of Erica Jane in that moment. Number one. Number two, Jennifer Tilly was like, girl, like everybody was like, girl, really? You really think that did it? You really think you put her in her place, Erica Jane? That's what you did? Girl, if you don't go sit your ass down somewhere. So the ladies getting ready to go to Sedona. Sedona? Is it Sedona? And so they're packing. You know how they have to do all the packing and stuff. And so the ladies show up because Sutton's got the little, she's got the private jet. They're going to fly down to Sedona, and the ladies start showing up one by one. And Jennifer Tilly makes a comment about Sutton not being late. And she was like, oh, well, you're the host of the trip, so I guess you can't be late. And again, I feel like it was a little tongue-in-cheek. I don't feel like it was that serious. But Sutton got, was like, why would you say that? Why would you start off and say something like that to me? Girl, go sit down somewhere. Especially since you were a whole 2, 3, 4 hours late to dinner when y'all were in Sedona. We're going to get to that in a second. Okay. The ladies are all showing up, and it's so funny because Rachel Zoe is trying to give everybody a compliment. She was like, oh, all the ladies showed up in their own style of what they thought Sedona was. And she was like, Jennifer Tilly, she had her bohemian thing going, and Bose was a queen. She showed up like a queen. And she said, Kyle had her cowboy hats and her turquoise, and she had turquoise on turquoise on turquoise, baby. And when she got to Amanda, she was like, well, she had the logo on the logo on the logo. Because Amanda had the Louis Vuitton jumper with a Louis Vuitton bag and a Louis Vuitton straw hat and probably some Louis Vuitton shoes. Girl, you are giving me Dorit season. What was Dorit's first and second season on the show? Where all she wore were logos, 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 logos. Y'all remember that? And because I still remember that Louis Vuitton trench coat. Now, I'm sorry. Dorit was doing a lot with the logos, but baby, that Louis Vuitton trench coat, I will never forget. That shit was bad as hell. Now that was a badass coat. And the funny thing was, she had on that Louis Vuitton trench coat, and then she still had on like Louis Vuitton logo top, and it was still girl. You didn't have to put nothing else logo on with that trench coat. It was a leather trench coat, and it was trimmed, and the Louis Vuitton baby. That coat was bad. But I just remember, girl, you got enough logos? Yeah, labels on labels on labels, right. And that was Rachel Zoe's nice way of basically saying, girl, you doing too much. So they head out to Sedona. It's a beautiful place where they're staying. It's an old miner hotel where the miners used to stay. It's been renovated and it's been turned into like, this 5-star, hotel situation. And so the ladies are all headed out. And they get there. I mean, Sutton has already done the room assignments, which again, I love the fact that we don't have to fight over rooms and make a big deal over rooms. The rooms are already pre-selected. The ladies' gift bags are in their room with their initials on it, so forth and so on. Can you imagine how much stuff these women give away to their assistants? Because think about it. On this one episode alone, Sutton and Jennifer went to Kathy's house and left with a bag full of shit. They went on this trip and Sutton gave them a canvas bag full of shit. Like, every time they go over each other's house, they always bring each other a gift. Most of them bring some sort of a gift. Can you imagine if you are an assistant to one of these people, how much free shit you just get? Because they can't possibly want all of the shit that they're getting. They could care less about half of that stuff. Especially somebody like a Rachel Zoe, who probably has her own brand deals. Girl, she is not about to be messing around with a bunch of y'all's brands. She got her own brands and her own brand deals. So it's not like she could be seen in public with any of this stuff, like skincare or whatever. She's probably getting paid to advertise somebody else's stuff. Y'all know what I'm saying? I mean, I know that's probably a crazy thing, but I was just thinking, how much shit do these people just give away to their assistants? Like, oh, you want this bag? Yeah, I got it from Kathy Hilton's house. Because I think about how many of those like canvas bags and stuff that I've given away or that I've taken to the I just took when I was taking stuff to the Goodwill before, like when I was purging back in November. Do you know how many of those canvas bags I had of like different conferences I've been to or different events I've been to where I've gotten conference bags? Can you imagine? Okay, I'm sorry. Let me bring it back. Let me bring it back. Now, Rachel Zoe, speaking of Rachel Zoe, had the bright idea to have her luggage mailed because she has so many outfits and things that she had the bright idea of having her luggage mailed to her at the hotel. And it didn't get there in time. Her luggage did not arrive until the next day. Rachel, I'm sure that's not the first time you've mailed your luggage ahead of time because you do have so much, but girl, that was crazy. Anyway, not the only thing. What's up, ma'ams? The only really gave me when I was in DC was empty cigar cartons. Oh. So the ladies are they're getting ready for dinner. They're doing all the things, getting ready for dinner. So they go to dinner. And at dinner, they ask Erica about stupid camera. They ask Erica about her new man. So of course she tells a story about him and whatever, don't care. Blah, blah, blah. She said that she flirted with him and that he's retired. She said that, she's like, can you believe that, I was out with no makeup on and blah, blah, blah. We found out that Bose is still on her she's still on her fertility journey. So she's still trying to have a baby. So we see her getting her shots and things of that nature. We find out at dinner Erica's MAGA man. Yes, honey. Eric, listen, we had that conversation earlier about the Housewives and MAGA. Hold on a second, y'all. Hold on. Sorry about that. So then Sutton lets the ladies know about what happened with, her wanting to go back to Sutton Brown. And, because she wants to let the Sutton Strat go. And she talks about being in her own head and really wanting to get to know the ladies and wanting to kind of start over and have a fresh start. And again, this again is one of those conversations that I felt like they're not saying what they're really saying, which is basically, now that I no longer have my guard dog, aka Garcelle, I really want to try to start over and be your friends. That's what I heard. Again, y'all might not have heard what I heard, but that's what I heard. Shouldn't a man say I love you before you want his what? I don't know. I guess her and Quad, I guess, child, they just want the sperm. I don't think they care. And then Amanda spends the next, I don't know, however many minutes talking and nobody's listening. She's bragging about buying crystals. And like Erica said, she's bragging about, I once bought $10,000 worth of crystals at one time. Erica was like, okay, well, I got a friend that bought $100,000 worth of crystals. And what? Like, Amanda, you are not going to out buy these ladies. You are not going to out spend these ladies. You're not going to out impress these ladies. There's nothing there. Like, the best thing that you can do is to try to get to know these women, be cool with these women. You're not going to out impress them. Like, you're just not. Did you not pay, and Amanda girl, I know you didn't know at the time, but did you not pay attention to when you first met, when the first scene where we were introduced to you? Did you not catch that shade that the producers gave you? Because you showed up with your little Birkin, thought you was doing something. When y'all met down at the place to register for Kyle's daughter's wedding, and you showed up with your little baby Birkin. You remember that? And the producers put up on the screen how much your Birkin cost. And then Kyle showed up with her Birkin. And Sutton showed up with her Birkin. And Kyle's Birkin was like, I don't know, I'm going to make up a number because I don't remember. But let's say Kyle's Birkin was like $43,000. And Sutton's Birkin was like $36,000. And yours was like $18,000. And remember how production put the prices up there? Because, girl, you're not going to impress them. Girl, you're not. And then what's even less impressive to them is when you were trying to explain your business and none of them fucking understood what you was talking about. It's and let's be clear. All it is to me is that it sounds like, and it's a lot of people that do this, and it's a lot of people that make a lot of money. So I'm not taking nothing away from you, girl. Get it how you get it. But it sounds to me like you are basically selling classes online. Like you're selling these modules for different things. A lot of people do that. You know, they find a niche. They find this little niche of something and they sell it. They sell these experiences. So you found like this whole self-help thing where you've like tapped into women empowerment and manifesting what they want and all of that. And you've found a way to monetize that. You've turned it into books. You've turned it into online classes. You've turned it into like support groups where people have to pay. Girl, it's nothing wrong with that. Ain't no shame in it. But what we not gonna do is act like, you know, you Mahatma Gandhi, and you have reinvented something. Because, girl, you haven't. Was she arrested for fraud? For real, Mims? Are you trolling or was she really arrested? These women have been spending money longer than Scamanda has thought she had money. Kathy has been rich as all outside since at least girl. Kathy Hilton don't even know what it's like to carry money at this point. I don't even think Kathy Hilton carries a purse. Like, girl, well, she does carry them old bags, but y'all know what I'm saying. So the next morning, the ladies get up and some of the ladies are going to the Vortex and some of the ladies are going shopping, right? So, and Kathy stayed in the bed. Kathy didn't go nowhere. Kathy got up, got in glam, got dressed to have breakfast, to film a scene, to get back in the bed. Again, you're not going to out Kathy them, right? So Bose, who's not really feeling well, I think she's having some side effects from the medication. Bose, Rachel, and Dorit go shopping. The rest of the ladies go hiking. And again, Kathy stays in the bed. Amanda, hey girl. Again, I shouldn't have to tell you this. She was arrested for fraud in 2016. Oh, wow. Amanda, you don't have to tell the people that you have a Chanel bag. You know why you don't have to tell people that you have a Chanel bag? There are two reasons. why you don't have to tell people you have a Chanel bag. Number one, it has the fucking logo on it. It's clearly a Chanel bag. We could see that from a mile away. It's got the quilted stitching and it's got the logo. You don't have to say, yeah, look at my Chanel bag. That's number one. Number two, you don't have to say, look at my Chanel bag, because you are around women who all have their own Chanel bags, multiples. It's crass. Moving right along. I think, Mims, I have to look that up. I think I remember when the trailer came out, something about her and fraud or something like that. This season is not that interesting, Romel, if I'm being honest. And again, the people may say what they want to say, but it's just not. It's not. It's not. It's not. I didn't like how Bose asked for food and then told her assistant, I don't want it right now. But did we see her ask for the food? Because she said, I didn't want it right now. I don't know, child. Bose, I'm over Bose, so I don't really pay her a whole lot of attention. If I'm being honest, I don't really pay her no damn attention. I did like Rachel Zoe's denim Chanel bag. I thought it was really cute. And you know what Rachel Zoe didn't have to do? She didn't have to tell us it was a Chanel bag. So the ladies go hiking up on the vortex. I wouldn't have went hiking either. I would have been shopping with the rest of them. My fat ass is not climbing up. I'm not doing it. Plus, I have a fear of, like, I would be so afraid of falling. I remember when I went to the Grand Canyon, and I remember my brother, and I was like in 8th or 9th grade when we went to the Grand Canyon. And my brother, who's 8 years older than me, he didn't care. And I remember him walking like all the way to the edge. And I was so freaking scared. Because in my mind, all I could do was see him falling, right? I ain't no way in hell. Even if I was in shape enough to walk up that damn, ain't no way in hell. I would be so scared. And when Erica and Kyle was sitting on the edge of that cliff filming that scene, oh my gosh, I was getting nervous watching it. Like, so, Kyle is talking to Erica about her conversation with Dorit. Now, Erica told her what I just said. Girl, stay out that shit. Now, Erica said it a lot nicer. Erica said it a lot nicer, but at the end of the day, girl, stay out that shit. First of all, that's married people's business. Don't get involved in married people's business, because married people are going to do what married people are going to do. That's number one. That is number one. Married people are going to do, whether it's an ugly divorce, a nice divorce, amicable, whatever. Leave them people alone and let them handle their married people business. If you're friends with one over the other, you just be a friend. That's it. That's all. And at the end of the day, sometimes people don't always need advice. They just need you to listen. And you know who Dorit is, girl. You know Dorit. You know her for her works. You know nothing good is going to come out of a conversation with Dorit. Nothing good is going to come out of that, because somehow, some way, she's going to find a way to throw it back in your face, in my opinion. So while they were up there having that conversation, the ladies, Bose, Rachel Zoe, and Dorit, they were having some wine, shopping and wine. And Dorit is talking to them about her conversation with Kyle. And Bose is kind of giving Dorit the same advice, like, listen, you and Kyle are just finding your way back to a good space. Maybe that's probably not the best conversation for y'all to have. Like, maybe, y'all are still, you have a wall up, you say you want to try to get back in a good place with Kyle, but you still sort of have a wall up. So maybe this ain't the conversation y'all need to be having. Maybe this ain't the best way to reconnect. I don't know. But then Rachel, I like you, girl. But in this situation, I feel like you probably shouldn't have said too much because you don't have the backstory of all of the ins and the outs. You don't have the backstory to this. So I kind of feel like, because she was like, yeah, because I didn't really like what Kyle said. And yeah, because Kyle said this and Kyle said that. And girl, because that's all Dorit needs. All Dorit needs is one person to agree with her, and she goes off and run into the sunset. That's all she needs is one. And Rachel, you don't want to be that one person because it's gonna put you in a bad situation. Because Dorit is going the first thing out of Dorit's mouth is gonna be, well, Rachel said, well, Rachel agrees with me. Well, Rachel thinks you shouldn't have said that. Rachel thinks you should say this. Girl, that is not the Now, Sutton decided that it was going to be a good idea for these ladies to cook dinner. I don't know why Sutton decided that this was going to be a good idea for these ladies to cook dinner, because I'm with Erica. When I'm on vacation, the last thing I want to do is cook. Now, I know some people enjoy cooking, and for them, that is relaxing. But clearly, for these women, that's not their idea of relaxing. Because if it was their idea of relaxing, we would have seen them cook before. The fact that these women, that it was 10 o'clock at night before Kathy even started cooking. I'm not sure why. I really need to know why them women were cooking. I feel like, no, because anything's available if you have enough money. But I was like, I kind of feel like maybe the facility said we can't accommodate y'all's schedule, and we're not going to keep our cooks here that late to cook for y'all. Like, I don't know what it was, but why were they cooking? I don't know. But it was 10 o'clock at night, and they were still cutting up the fucking vegetables. And Sutton said she was going to cook the chicken, and Sutton ass was the last one to come downstairs. Now, while the ladies are all getting ready for dinner, we're going to get back to that in a minute. But while all the ladies are getting ready for dinner, Amanda is telling Kyle how a friend of hers ran into Javi, and that he told her friend, oh, tell Amanda to call me. I'll give her all the tea. Can I tell y'all, I didn't believe it from the beginning. I didn't believe it from the beginning. And I don't know Javi. I don't know what happened between Sutton and Javi, but I didn't believe it from the beginning. Something just doesn't ring true about this story for me. It just doesn't. Something just doesn't connect for me with this story. I don't know. Maybe it's me, but it just doesn't. But we're going to get to it. So Kyle tells Amanda, well, you probably need to talk to Sutton, because if it were me, I'd want to know if one of my former employees was basically telling my business or threatening to tell my business. Like, you probably need to tell Sutton. So Amanda is downstairs complaining about why is Sutton not down here? Why are we waiting for Sutton? Like, hello, it's 11 o'clock at night, and Sutton said she was going to cook the chicken, and we still ain't cooked the chicken. Now, Sutton, here's where I'm getting pissed off at you. And again, I feel like there's something with this conversation that we just don't know. I feel like not with this dinner. I feel like there's something with this dinner that production isn't telling us, because nothing about this scene made any sense. Because Sutton comes sauntering down at 11 o'clock at night, and she don't understand why people got an attitude. She was like, well, I needed to get myself together after being at the vortex. I needed some me time, and I needed to get myself together. And what's the big deal? I mean, why are we in such a rush? Like, where are we going? Because it's fucking 12 o'clock at night, and I still haven't eaten. What are you talking about? I was like, what am I missing from this scene that everybody is being so casual about it being 11 o'clock at night and they still cooking dinner? I was so confused. I was like, what? So the ladies, while they're waiting for the food to cook, they're all outside, and Amanda brings it up to Sutton about Javi. Here's where I stand on this. And I know that right now, Sutton is not people's favorite person. But let me tell you how frustrated I would be if I were Sutton. Because Amanda told Sutton, Sutton said, okay, thank you. And I feel like because Sutton didn't give y'all the response that y'all wanted, y'all kept going. Then it was like, well, I mean, and then that's when Amanda added the second part. Because at first, she only said the part that we saw her tell Kyle, which was, somebody that I know ran into some guy named Javier, and he said, tell Amanda if she wants the real tea to call me. I don't believe that happened. And then when Sutton didn't give her the response that she was looking for, then she's going to say, well, and then he says, and if she really wants to make Sutton mad, tell her to hire me. That'll really make Sutton mad. This story doesn't make sense to me for a couple of reasons. Jennifer Tilly said, hey, I was surprised when her and Javi parted ways as well, but I thought they had just had an argument and they would make up and they would be right back on the same page. I didn't think it was a big deal. I didn't think it would, it would last this long. But I would be, but basically Jennifer was like, I'm surprised, right, that Javi would say this. The second reason why I don't believe this is I know that man got an NDA. I absolutely know he has an NDA. And it might not be Beyonce ironclad NDA, but that man got a damn NDA. That's number two. Number three, the reason why I don't believe this is because out of all of the people that Javi knows that's connected to this show after years of filming, he knows people on production. He knows the other housewives. He knows the other housewives' assistants because all of them have assistants. All of them have hair and makeup, glam. All of them have people that work for them. He knows all of them. He has been filming with Sutton for years. He knows all of those people. You mean to tell me if he really wanted to get revenge on Sutton, he's going to pick the newbie? He's going to go to somebody that he absolutely has no relationship with. He doesn't know this woman. That's who he's going to pick? I don't believe it. I believe that if Javi wants to get under Sutton's skin, he's going to do exactly what he did, which is go work for Garcelle. That is going to get under Sutton's skin. Going to work for Amanda is not going to... Sutton could give a fuck's less. But going to work for Garcelle, which is where he is now, that is going to piss Sutton off. So I just didn't believe it. And so when Sutton didn't give them the response that they wanted, now they're picking at Sutton. They're picking at Sutton. They're picking at Sutton. And then Sutton finally says, I'm not upset because I don't believe it. I said, ding, 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 ding. Sutton does not believe it. And let's be clear. There are only two people that know what happened between Sutton and Javi, and that is Sutton and Javi. Now, Javi claims he don't know. He told Jennifer Tilly he don't know what happened, that, yeah, they had an argument, but he thought it would blow over and he'd be back in a couple of weeks because I guess they've had these kind of arguments before and, she's fired him and then hired him back. So you do know what happened. You just didn't think it was a big deal. You thought you would be back. But I respect the fact that Sutton is not talking about it. They already tried to bring it up once and Sutton shot it down. Now they're trying to bring it up again through Amanda and Sutton shot it down. And then they're going to bring it up a third time. And then when she finally snaps at everybody, now she's the fucking bad guy. And on this one, I got to defend Sutton. Sutton, I feel like, was very clear. I don't want to talk about this. And I'm not going to. Everybody else on this show get to pick and choose what the fuck they gonna talk about. She confirmed that he no longer works for her. And she told Kyle on that first episode, I don't want to talk about it. She told y'all this that night, I don't want to talk about it. So the next day, when they bring it up again at dinner again, and she snaps at them, now they're like, "Oh, there's the old Sutton. Oh, there's Sutton Strack." No, there's somebody that's fucking irritated because I done told y'all asses I don't want to. Excuse me, that I don't want to talk about this. If y'all are talking in the chat, the chat's not moving. I guess y'all are just quiet because this episode ain't really giving nothing. I don't know. But I just want to let y'all know I'm not ignoring y'all. I don't see any comments in the chat. So if y'all are talking, I don't see it. And if you're not talking, that's fine. I just don't want nobody to think I'm ignoring them. So Amanda keeps picking and picking and picking. And that's finally, they finally end the conversation. They go in and they have dinner, blah, blah, blah. They finally eat dinner at like 12 o'clock. And I was like, why are we just acting like this is normal? Why are we acting like it's normal for these housewives to cook their own food? And why are we acting like it's normal that they're eating at fucking midnight? But okay. I mean, if y'all like it, I love it. I mean, okay, whatever. So the next morning, the ladies get up, and apparently Sutton snapped at Amanda at breakfast. And so Amanda was like, "Oh, Sutton is mad at me because she snapped at me when we were at breakfast. So I think she's mad at me." Yeah, she probably is. But again, let's be clear. You started getting on Sutton's nerves before they even went to Sedona. But that shit you pulled with Javi added to it because, again, she doesn't believe you. So it's not that she's mad that you brought it up. She thinks you're a liar. And that's where the difference is. Girl, they're not mad you brought it up. They just don't believe you. So the ladies go shopping. And listen, this is what I like about Beverly Hills. I love to see these women go into these small little boutiques, these stores, and still find a way to spend $20,000. You know what I'm saying? Like Jennifer Tilly spent, $4,000. Sutton spent a couple of $1,000. Kyle, I think, spent the most. Kyle bought some shit. So I love the fact, I love the fact that, I love seeing these women just go shopping. And I mean, they were buying some cute little pieces or whatever. I don't believe Amanda. Maybe it's the producers that told her that story. Yeah, if somebody had said, look, somebody that Javi approached somebody on production and was like, I'm going to tell y'all all of Sutton secrets, I might believe that. But Amanda, absolutely not. So then Amanda, on the way to the shopping, is on the phone making all of these fake ass business calls because, again, they're fake ass business calls. Because like Erica said, girl, all of us are running businesses. All of us have business calls to make. All of us have, like, girl, don't try. I loved it. Erica was like, girl, don't try to flex on your little fake ass business calls. You got Rachel Zoe, who is literally running a fucking multi-million-dollar empire, and she's putting on her makeup. Girl, if you don't go sit down somewhere, Amanda, faking like your ass is really balling, like you on all these damn business calls, girl, nobody is impressed by that shit. Because nobody believes it. And I noticed something, and if I might have missed it, y'all. I might have missed it. So y'all get me together if I missed it. Did y'all see Amanda buy anything? I saw Amanda in the stores with them, but I remember when the only thing I saw Amanda buy was that matcha tea where she tried to, again, talk about, is it award-winning matcha? Girl, what? No, highly blessed. I think she said highly blessed. Girl, what the fuck is highly blessed matcha? What does that even mean? And again, Rachel Zoe is like, girl. Again, you think you're doing what you think rich people do around rich people. And when you are trying to do things that you think rich people do and they're not doing it, It's time to abort mission. You acting like your matcha tea has to be so special and has to have special matcha. That's the kind of shit you see in movies. That's some Devil Wears Prada type shit where you think this is how rich people act. And I'm not saying none of them do, but you're not impressing any of these women by acting like that. Because again, I ain't about to sit here and say that none of these women do it, but you're not impressing these women by acting like that. At least not on camera. They don't do it on camera. Now, they might do it, but they don't do it on camera. Just like Mim said earlier, I didn't like the fact that Bowles asked for her breakfast, and then when he showed up with it was like, oh, I didn't mean right now. Right. Nobody likes that shit. That don't make, we don't like that. So the ladies go out for their final dinner. They're going to this restaurant out by the at the airport. Now it looks like a really nice restaurant, and Sutton said, well, we're here because of the views. Like, it's got beautiful views, but they literally are at the airport. And Erica was like, bring back Sutton Strat, because Sutton Strat was glamorous. Like, this Sutton Strat got us eating at the airport and got us cooking our own meals. Like, what is really going on here? So the ladies are ordering, their food or whatever, and Amanda says to Sutton, are you mad at me? Because this morning you snapped at me. I just want to know, are you angry with me? And Sutton was like, no, I just didn't understand why everybody was late coming downstairs for dinner and why you felt the need to single me out. Like, why was I the one that you felt like you wanted to have an issue with? Everybody else was late too. Now, to be fair, Sutton, number one, you were the host of the trip and you were the one that wanted everybody to cook. Number two, girl, you were making the fucking meat. Like, everybody else was making salads and stuff. Girl, you were making the meat. So yeah, we waiting for you. What you mean? Why you mad at me? Girl, because you supposed to be making the meat. Yeah, we waiting on you. So on that one, I'm with Amanda. But this was their way of bringing up the hobby shit again. And again, I am with Sutton. Sutton is like, look, I don't know how many different ways I can tell y'all I don't want to talk about this shit. I'm not talking about hobby. Now, the only thing I didn't like, Sutton, was after you yelled at them, then you hit them with the, have I made myself clear? See, that's when I would have been like, who the fuck you think you talking to? What you mean, have I made myself clear? Girl, who you talking to? Because now I feel like you talking to me like a child. Now, I was cool with her saying, I don't want to talk about this. I said I wasn't going to talk about this. But then when you added the, did I make myself clear part? Now, Houston, we got a problem. You're not going to talk to me crazy, Sutton. But again, they kept going and kept going. Now, so Sutton actually did get emotional and started crying. She snapped at Jennifer Tilly. And I understand why she snapped at Jennifer Tilly, even though I understand why Jennifer Tilly was upset, because Jennifer was like, because she thought Jennifer was going to say something else about hobby. And Jennifer was like, well, that's not what I was going to say. You didn't even give me a chance to say what I was going to say. But okay, whatever. So you could tell that Jennifer got upset. So she got up to go to the bathroom. And then Sutton snapped at Kyle because Kyle, she goes... And again, I understand why she snapped at Kyle. Kyle gonna lean over and say, Sutton, are you okay? Baby, Sutton said, do I look okay? Mind you, by this time, Sutton is crying. She is sitting there with tears. Girl, how you gonna lean over and say, Sutton, are you okay? This damn camera. Like, that's crazy. You know she's not okay. She's sitting here fucking crying. So then Kyle gets up to go to the bathroom, and Jennifer gets up to go to the bathroom. And Jennifer is venting to Kyle. she's venting about the fact that Sutton just yelled at her in front of everybody. I'm sure she was a little embarrassed, and she was probably pissed off, like, girl, who you yelling at? So she's venting to Kyle. Kyle is like, I'm kind of surprised that Jennifer's talking to me like this right now. I mean, aren't they like best friends? Girl, even best friends get mad at each other, and she's venting right now. She's not saying fuck Sutton, I ain't never speaking to her again. She's just saying, look, now I understand why Garcelle left, because this shit gets to be a lot sometimes. I was like, Kyle, here we go. I already knew she was going to carry that bone. I said, here we go. Kyle going to carry that damn bone. Now, while all of this is going on, we back at the table, and these women are still trying to talk to Sutton about Javi. I was like, this had to be production or something, because why are we still talking about this? I feel like Sutton, I 100% understood why Sutton was irritated and why Sutton was pissed off, because how many different ways do I have to tell y'all I don't want to talk about this? The woman is sitting there crying. She said it upsets her because it is hurtful. And I'm sure it's hurtful for her to think about Javi out there threatening to tell all her damn secrets. You know what I'm saying? So then after all of that, Amanda gonna say to Sutton, Sutton, do you cry a lot? Amanda, you better be lucky that Sutton is a nicer woman, because Sutton should have smacked your ass. That was so fucking condescending at that point. Do you cry a lot? The fuck you mean, do I cry a lot? Girl, what? I really hope this is the end of the Javi shit, although I feel like it's not. But at the end of the day, they all rally around Sutton, which is what she wants. Oh, Sutton, we love you, Sutton. And what pissed me off was, in this moment, they were like, Sutton, I'm so glad, here's Dory, I'm so glad that you opened up to us, and you're letting us in. See, this is the Sutton we like. This is the Sutton we've always wanted. This is the Sutton we've wanted to get to know. Code for now that Garcelle's gone. That's what I heard. Now, that might not be what they said, and maybe that's not even what they meant, but that's what I heard. I heard, well, now that Garcelle's gone, oh, and it was almost like, yeah, you yelled at us, but we forgive you. She should have yelled at y'all ass, because she been telling y'all for 24 hours she didn't want to talk about that shit. She should have yelled at y'all. Anyway, those were the 2 episodes, child. I gave y'all both episodes. And you're right, Romel. This season is not that fucking interesting, if I'm being honest. But we're going to go ahead and ride this wave, honey. Maybe it'll get better. We're going to ride this wave. Anyway, with that being said, that was pretty much the episode, y'all. I'm getting ready to go watch a little bit of Traitors before I go to bed. And I will talk to y'all later. Mwah. Peace.